Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 2. I hope you feel comfortable in the online environment now. This week, we're going to work on a strategic plan, um, personal branding logo sketches, and your leave behind ideas. So, I think the first place to start is a strategic plan. I don't know if any of you have done this sort of thing in other classes before, but I will assume that you haven't and just discuss demographics a little bit. That's what this is all about. So, demographics is a marketing idea slash concept that helps people sort of get to a starting point. For example, um, a company like Jaguar, the car company, really thinks well about their advertising before they put anything together. Let's just go there. So who's their demographic? Obviously people that can afford a $100,000 car. Who might those people be? And then from there, they think about what the common age range is, um, what colors would appeal to them, what size font is necessary. So let's just be stereotypical and say that maybe a Jaguar would appeal to a doctor in his late 40s, early 50s. What can you assess from that sort of person? You can assume that their vision isn't what it used to be, kids. And maybe the font on the website needs to have a lot of contrast, be large enough, be very clear. You can also make an assumption that this person has had money for a long time and perhaps they're looking for subtlety. Or on the opposite end of that, maybe they're looking for an aggressive, more commanding sort of look and feel. I would assess just based on this landing page alone that they've figured out that their target audience grew up with Star Trek. Maybe the font looks a little more space age than what you might find on, let's see, Ford. So I live in Florida, and there's a car lot here that has more F-150s than anywhere, even bigger than Los Angeles. So as you can see, their font looks a lot different than the Jaguar one. A little more direct, a little more down to earth, a little more simple. And that's just the CSS there. Anyway, so that's the reason for demographics. It's people major in marketing. There's people that do marketing statistics, and they get as much specific information as possible, and then they bring it to the designers. So the designers can go from there. So, for example, all right, so you guys need to figure out who you really want to work for. I think somebody said that they would love to work on like a Halo game. They just adore those sorts of games. So this is the company that makes Halo. It's called Bungie. And to them, you can see their logo is not very important. Their branding is not very important. But showing like dynamic gaming is really what they're considering, what they really want to push to the world. So that's their logo. It's very basic. It's all caps. It's straight to the point. So, I can think about that for a while, and it seems to me that they maybe don't care that much about graphic design, but what they really care about is realistic, beautiful 3D. So if that is something you want to do, then I would make the graphic design very simple and just, be sure that your portfolio is off the charts. All right, so here's another thought, something for you guys to think about. Yes, we're looking at an image of a classic diner. So why would that be? Well, let's say your target audience, you really, really want to work for a company like a blue chip company that's been around a really long time. And there's a lot of those companies out there like Kellogg's. Let's say you want to get a job at Kellogg's. So you figure out that the art director the creative director, the HR people, maybe the vice president of marketing or whatever, their age ranges go from 50 to 70. So I interrupted for a second. Anyway, so let's say you wanted to work for a long-standing blue chip company, and you find out that the hiring people are older than what you thought would be the case. Okay, so the way you can use demographics is to think about what was popular and stylish when they felt young and powerful like you. So I bring up a diner because I always think of my dad. So my dad's in his late 70s. He's been retired for a long time. And in this case, I'm not sure that he would ever be the demographic, even if he worked at a place like Kellogg's. But anyway, this is a good, strong visual example. So he loved Elvis Presley. And if I were to design something for him, I would start to look at the Elvis Presley environment. So what was cool back then? I would think black, pink, baby blue, hot pink. And then I might think about a classic diner image. So a lot of chrome, checkerboard, bright colors, a lot of strong contrast. So with my design, with my logo sketches, I might think of trying to do something a little more stylized in that area. Okay, well, I hope that makes sense. The last thing I wanted to mention to help you with strategic planning and demographics is to actually go onto a job site and look and see what they want from you. So let's say you're like me and you love motion graphics and you want to get a job doing motion graphics. You don't care who it's for. This home shopping network is in my town here. I really would not want to work here, but this is a good example. So they want somebody who does all of this stuff. So before you even start sketching, go find your dream job on the internet and look through all the things that you're going to expect you to do and think about it. Think about it before you start sketching. Think about it before you put your portfolio together. And that is a good way, really trying your best, strategically planning how to get to the job that you want. Okay, so that is the first step, the first place to start for your strategic plan. Describe what you want to do. Do you want to work for a corporation? Do you want to do freelance? What would be your dream software to work with? And then the demographics, age range, income level, all that stuff that's going to help paint a picture of what would appeal to them. Attitudes, this also goes with sort of the age range, but don't assume things. So you might think for a company like Halo, Bungie/Halo, that they want a real mechanical, tough looking logo out of you, but in reality, if you look at all of their branding, it's really pretty simple and it's the artwork that pops. And then think about your messages. So if you were to have a tagline, working harder for you, or that sort of thing, what might encompass your logo and message? Now, these won't necessarily be in your logo, but it might narrow it down for you. And it might just be something as simple as, I want to work in the game industry. That is your message. All right, let me know if you have any questions.